last week was that's the way this offense should look. Against a good opponent, a good defense. This was maybe the best performance you've had, and if so, what was responsible for that?
Well, again, we typically, and again this week, you practice against a good crowd every day. So the practice is good, the competition is good. Against the ability to find some balance, and we ran the ball. We got to find a way this week to do that. End of the year, when you're getting tired, like how do you get the physical work you need without overworking and being tired? And at the same time, if you take care of your team, you can come in, not ready to play. As physical as you need to play in this league down the stretch when you're trying to be in the championship hunt. So click, but again, it takes just a little bit to be off. You're fighting every week to put it together. You're fighting to stay on. We've had it sometimes we haven't. And again, this week got to fight like heck to have it this week.
Using the tight end in the backfield almost like as a fullback, it's not exactly fancy, but it seems to work well for you, and it's something Ohio State hasn't done before you got here, very much at least. I mean, just can you talk about that wrinkle a little bit and why that's been effective for you guys, Kevin?
Just based on the structure of the defense each week, and we got to find some ways to balance that formation out as you move forward, because you have tendencies of where you're running it, or what's the passes and things off of that. So you don't have a lot of offense, but each week you got to have some balance, and sometimes we're trying to hide that formation, maybe motion around. But what it is giving us an angle to basically insert and basically almost get like an old-fashioned ISO blocking a linebacker or a backside cover. You can stop the defense and get a crease. And if you put the guy on the edge, you're always reach blocking. And sometimes, when you're reach blocking, things just go sideways. So when you bring him against the grain to cut off the end, of course, when you bring him, what a lot of people do, they'll actually key him instead of the running back, because sometimes that guy takes you to the ball. So we've got to do a great job as coaches having balance in the formation so that you don't have your tendencies and tips. So to me, I think this day and age, a tight end in a spread offense is sometimes needs to be almost a fullback, sometimes be a real tight end, sometimes needs to be a receiver.
It seemed like
we were using that a little bit more right now.
It seemed like you were using that very basic but effective double team block with Billy and a guard. Just that double team has been a staple of this offense forever. Has it been working better? Is it something that you kind of recommitted to?
No, I mean that's. I think when you're double teaming without that insert guy, you have to then work to the near backer, and that makes that double team faster. When you bring an extra guy, now when we bring an extra guy, they bring an extra guy. It's always you're playing chess a little bit. But when you bring that fullback into the game or insert we had a play years ago where the tight end would just fold in, it allows this first combo to be a little bit more physical and rim it and clean it out a little bit more. Gives you a chance to get more vertical movement. Because we throw some bubble passes and we get some perimeter plays to get the ball going sideways, but you've got to get the ball going down the field, and when you get some vertical blocks, you can get the ball down the field.
Kevin, what did you guys find out about your running game last week, especially that cemented some thoughts or that you didn't know about it? I mean, against the number 3 rush defense in the country.
Yeah. Again, we worked hard to just wrinkle some stuff to take advantage of the way their structure is this week. Much different structure with Coach Smith and his background. They're both Coach Smith, Coach Antonio, tremendous defense coaches, but different structures. So last week it was really the guys executing up front, and we kind of stayed with it early and got in good rhythm.
Was the 82-yard run by Mike Weber an almost perfectly executed run play? I mean, when you look at it on video, obviously Michael Jordan comes off. He and Billy both double teamed the nose or whatever right there, kind of shoved him left, and Michael came off and caught the middle linebacker in the hole. And when a guy goes 82 yards up the middle untouched, where does that come down in a perfect blocking situation?
Well, to me, when you do something like that, it's 11 guys. And so, for example, you throw the ball and he says, hey, JT was hot. Well, there's a lot of guys pass blocking. All I deal when those plays work. I mean, if you say sometimes it's the perimeter blocking. In this case, we actually had receivers running routes, and 4 guys took 6 guys out of the picture initially, and that opened up the crease. It was a great team effort. And to play as well as we did last, it's team. That's what we're going to need this week. You got to down the stretch. You got to play great team football, and we got to find a way to keep that team momentum going.
We've been asking this a bunch, but is there a chance we're going to see both of those running backs on the field at the same time on a repeated basis?
You guys come to warm-ups out there all the time.
Yeah. No, is that at your disposal now if you want to go that route? If do y'all have stuff like that?
Yeah, initially, yes. But again, we're just worried about Mike's initial wear and tear, but now he's back. I mean, yeah, but again, we'll work it as we move forward.
Kevin, is it possible that he wasn't?
Like the 2 tight ends have gotten out there some, same
Yeah.
thing.
With Mike, I think you just alluded to this. Is it possible that he didn't still get back to 100% or close to where you want him to be until the last couple of weeks in terms of his health? Because he just looked physically like a different guy on Saturday.
Yeah, maybe, but also too, I think it was a big game being from where he's from, and and that's again like right now our attention is on this game and this week, because I thought last week our team and Mike had great attention. That's what this week is, the attention of this one. So whether he's more healthier, there was a attention and purpose about what we're doing, and we were focused on something we need to do, and that's what we're trying to give our offense. You got 11 moving parts, and you say it's a perfect call, and yeah, but sometimes the defense cooperates with the way they line up, and so again, down the stretch, what you're looking at is offensively is how do you keep putting together each week and get your team to play as hard as you can.
Kevin, you came in here
when you got here. JT had been starting for the better part of 3 years. Was he at a different level than other quarterbacks you coached? I mean, in terms of maturity, what was special about it?
Very, very mature, very grounded. Parents' upbringing, DNA, the way he's been raised, the way he's been coached previously, the coaching had gone on here, where he had been challenged a lot, understood protections, but really understood how to prepare. So a really good, talented kid, but a great work kid. Had a lot of great work habits.
What about development this year? Have you seen? I mean, on and off the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got. I'd have Coach Day and JT answer that one, but they've worked well together, and I think Ryan is a phenomenal coach, did a great job, and JT's been a sponge that comes in every day wanting to get better, and they've worked well. And I mean, to me, I've seen a guy throw it really, really well, and I think it's a credit to both those guys.
Kevin, you came in here, you had never coached with these guys, any of these seniors before and stuff, and obviously they bought into like what you guys are doing now and stuff, but who has really caught your eye as far as your first time working with them among the senior group? That obviously you talk about JT and stuff.
Yeah, Billy Price is very elite in the way he. Again, we talk about preparing. Like when we do, matter of fact, we were doing a walkthrough the other day, game day morning, and Coach Day looked and he said, "That's enough." And I said, "You said that's enough." And he goes, Billy Price just bent his knees for 30 minutes in a perfect position. How long can you do that? Because he does things in a very detailed way. So he's an elite guy. Jamarco Jones has been an elite guy with his knowledge of the game, and I've had a chance to be around him. Those guys quite a bit, kind of hang with the line. You listen to those guys talk and communicate, how serious they're, and they're understanding. Those guys, JT, they're understanding those guys, and I know we got some more. I'm working. Zach's came over and played a little bit of that tight end fullback spot, so I've got to know him a little bit. He brings a lot of energy. He's been great in the kicking game, but those linemen up front have been pretty special.
Is it a testament to them? I mean, just to the team.
I'd like to say too, because I don't like to talk about my guys, but Marcus came off a disappointing year, and he changed some practice habits, and not because he caught one catch. He's a joy to coach, and he comes in every day, and he's been a good senior leader, and he's helped our tight end group a lot.
He's also become a hurdler. No, just joking.
I'm with you.
Hey, is it a testament to them too, though, that you guys have put yourself back in the big picture after a humongous defeat a couple of weeks ago and stuff? Well, what does it, I guess, say about testify to the I guess the strength of this program or this team?
I just think and we're very, very talented, and we got a great culture. But you got to work every week to stay on, and stay on target, and to stay locked in. It's not about it's physical and it's mental, and it's getting a group to have that energy and that focus, and that's been our whole deal. Is it wasn't to do anything but to put our focus on one game, 1 week, and have a great week, and that's what we've done this week. That was good. Let's come back to now this week, this game, this third down package, this score zone package, this in special teams and other phases. But from an offense perspective, here's what we're going to see, and how do we have? We've always practiced well, but I think our coaches work well to put together a good plan. Let's go attack and see if we can put together a strong one.
Urban said.
Standing 1-2 punches with the running backs throughout your career. Have you had to borrow from what you've done in the past to sort of keep both J.K. and Mike?
With the injury that Mike had, and just being a little consistently. It's not the last couple of weeks with him. Cologne's been, and Coach Alford's handled that. You know, those couple of years we had a couple of good guys. They were kind of both playing and hot hand and go back and forth. And right now it's just a blessing. And I'm happy for Mike to have him back. And JK's had a great year.
Urban said that Coach Stradrawa played a bigger role in the offensive game planning last week. What kind of is his role in that capacity, and is that continued this week?
Yeah, I mean, basically, with Coach Meyer's background, Coach Day and Coach Smith being receivers, skill guys, and then Coach Meyer kind of well-rounded, and Coach Day as well. I mean, and even Zach, we kind of divvy a little bit of running pass. And me and Coach Stradrawa went last week. We just kind of really just hashed out what do you like and why, and just kind of put our laser lights on it, and kind of just day by day, do you like this and why, and if they do this and this and this, and as much as anything, we kind of eliminated some things we didn't like, focused on some things we wanted, worked it hard, and I think our offensive staff's a joint deal. It's a group effort. There's a lot of talking in between drives. What do you like? You know, I'll flip over to Stud and say, hey, I'm thinking these 2 runs. What do you like? Because I like that one. How about this one? So there's a lot of open communication. That's how the offensive staff works.
Is there a different perspective that maybe he brings from yours that kind of helps you guys come together and maybe get that run game to where it was last week?
Yeah, in some ways. At the same time, though, I mean, he's got a background with some 2-back work, which I got a part of. You know, his time with Coach Miles, he's got a lot of quarterback running him with some of his time at places. Coach Meyer previously, what they've done at other stops when he's at Maryland. So even though I've never worked with him, we have a lot of similar thoughts, and sometimes he'll see it differently, but our communication, our thought process is similar. It's been I enjoy working with him. I think we work well together.
What does it mean to an offense when you can run the ball and run it like you guys have?
Well, I think, and you know, if you don't have receivers, you can't pass block. If you don't have receivers, the guy can't throw, whatever. But when people say they're one-dimensional, typically it means you can't run the ball. If a team can stop your run and make you beat one and make you throw. Now, some teams maybe can't throw because you just don't have it at quarterback, or you have issues. But when you're a good team, when you can run the football, it gives you the balance. And because now you can pass on your terms. When you have to pass on the defensive terms, it's a difficult game. All right, guys.